Welcome, listeners, to Embracing Power and Potential, your go-to podcast where we travel through the realms of personal growth, mindset mastery, and fear-conquering strategies to help achieve your greatest desires. I'm your host, Portia, and I'm thrilled to be your guide on this transformative experience. If you're ready to unleash your authentic power and elevate your life, you're in the right place. Join me and our special guests as we embark on conversations that will broaden your horizons and enrich your journey. So, sit back and immerse yourself in these unmatched discussions. It's time to expand your mind and your life. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Embracing Power and Potential. I hope you are all having a fabulous week. And if you are new here, hello and welcome to the family. And if you are a returning listener, thank you for being here as always. So today's topic, I want to dive into your intuition and 5 ways that we can connect with this. And I will be explaining what that actually is and how you can connect with this. So let's get straight into it. So basically your intuition, I look at it as like your inner compass. Have you ever said to yourself, I knew it, but I didn't listen to myself? Then this episode is for you, because that is your intuition trying to speak to you. It's like your higher self, I like to call it. Your intuition is that gut feeling. Have you ever heard someone say to you, trust your gut? That is so real. And when we do doubt ourselves and we don't go with that first gut feeling, that's when shit goes south. And that's when we think, damn, I wish we trusted ourselves. An example for this in my life, there has been more than one relationship that I have stayed in way longer than I should have, because I genuinely thought that I could fix and help these people. And I only really saw the potential. I saw that they were hurting, and I kept telling myself, maybe if I love him enough, he'll change. But deep down, I knew that he wasn't ready, and I knew that these people weren't right for me. And I ignored the red flags, even though my intuition was screaming, my gut feeling. I would feel anxious around these people. I would just, when you just know that something isn't right for you, it just doesn't feel right. And then one day I did get an intuitive nudge. It's like it's like a little inner voice that you have all the time. And I will get into this later into the episode. And it happened one day. It just come to me that this isn't yours to fix. So eventually it all crumbled and I was just left completely drained from multiple relationships. But it wasn't what hit me the most. It wasn't the breakup. It was the realization that I knew so much earlier. My intuition had been speaking to me the whole time, and I just ignored it. But these experiences have taught me, just because you see someone's potential, it doesn't mean it's your job to heal them, especially at the cost of your own peace. So that is a little, that was a little rant, but that is a way that, your intuition connects with you when you know that it's not right. And some more simpler examples are that anyone can relate to is this doesn't even have to be in love, but when you just get like a weird feeling or you just instantly feel off around someone new, and then you probably find out later that they weren't a good person, that was your intuition warning you. Or when you just randomly take the wrong route to your house, and you go a completely different way and you don't really know why. And then you find out later that there was a car accident or something that had happened in your usual route, because your intuition is there to protect you. It is your inner voice. It is those little niggles that you get. That's your intuition. And it's different from fear. When you're having fear come up, that's usually your ego trying to protect you in a way and keep you small. So I'm going to get into how we actually connect with our intuition. And number one, that is to create space for you to hear it. Because your intuition is a quiet whisper. And noise completely drowns it out. And this is, noise, even distractions, scrolling on social media, overthinking, and just any drama or chaos in your life. This will stop those intuitive hits from coming in. So really, sitting in silence is probably the best way to connect with your intuition, and it does take practice for these things to come in and to differentiate between fear-based beliefs in the mind and your inner knowing trying to speak to you. And some good activities that you can do to sit in the silence and to create the space for you to connect with your intuition are solo walks, just getting out in nature by yourself with no phone, no headphones, no distractions, just you and your inner voice. And not your inner voice where you're overthinking and, running in a dialogue of arguments that you wish you had said differently. None of that. Simply stillness within yourself. Being present. That's when these intuitive hits come into play. And it's always there. It's always there. But you just can't hear it through all the noise. Especially quiet time first thing in the morning as well, with no phone distraction. Just sitting there in your own self and just letting whatever comes up come up. And one thing that actually, an example that I use, and I always get these downloads coming in. Downloads is like another way to say intuitive hits or, little nudges, is actually in the shower. That is when I get my best ideas. And your intuition is also ideas that come to you. So whether you're working on a passion project or you may be studying something and you've come to a mental block, when you take some time away from that and you are sitting in stillness, for me, the example is my shower time. That is when those ideas start flowing and you'll just randomly get this brilliant idea. And what I do is, if I don't have the time to actually integrate that idea on the spot, I will just quickly write these things down in my notes so I can go back to them when I have the time. But writing them down is actually important as well, just so you don't forget it. Like, it's your intuition and it will sort of scream at you. So if you don't hear it the first time or you don't follow up, it will end up coming back to you again. But you may as well cut out some time and write it down and come back to it straight away. Number 2, tune into your body signals. The body speaks to you. and it gives you signals of what your mind is avoiding. You know, when you get that gut feeling, you know, you literally feel it in your gut. That is a no. That is your gut telling you, you know, fear, danger, no, leave, get out, pretty much. And then sometimes if you feel it through your whole body, like it's an energy that just takes over your whole body for a second, you know, it's nearly like the shivers. But the way that I would explain it is like just a feel of energy through your body. Some people call that a full body yes. You know, that's like gratitude running through your body and all these exciting emotions quickly running through all at once when you make a big life decision. For example, when I booked my trip that I have recently booked for next year, I am traveling abroad, but I will let you know the details at a later date. I felt the full body, yes. I felt like these tingles through my body. And you can practice this. Ask yourself a yes or no question and notice the physical sensations that come up. Because it literally happens all the time. You know, like if someone makes a joke about you and you feel embarrassed, you get this feeling through your body. And I know my gut turns and your face goes red. This is your body giving you signals that you don't feel safe. So you can also make decisions like this and make them better when you feel it in your body as you are making a choice. For example, if you go to pay for something that maybe you don't necessarily need and you may be exceeding your budget for the week, your body, you may feel a little niggling feeling in your stomach that doesn't feel too good because your body is reacting to your decision making. But you can practice this and feel it in your body when you are making choices, and making body based decisions will give you a clear indication whether it's going to be good for you or not. Point number 3, practice self trust daily. And I would say that this is probably the most important way to strengthen your intuition, because your intuition thrives in self trust. And when you doubt yourself, it dims that channel to your higher self, which is your intuition. But when you trust yourself, and the more that you keep trusting yourself, that inner voice gets louder. And the way to slowly build this every day is with micro decisions to build your self-trust muscle. Building self-trust takes consistency. Look at it as if you were at the gym and you were working on a specific body part, and over time it grows. This is the same with your self-trust. When you keep working on it every day, it will eventually become a part of your reality and it will come easier to you to trust yourself. But it does take time at the start, especially if you are coming from a lack mindset and working through limiting beliefs, which, let's face it, we all are conditioned in some way to believe something about ourselves that probably isn't true. So just building these micro decisions every day, and from simple things like, what do I want to eat? You know, even I struggle with being indecisive, you know, not trusting myself or not really knowing how to make a decision. But this is why it is important to strengthen this, so you don't have to rely on anyone else. That was one thing I used to do, is rely on other people to make decisions because I felt like I couldn't myself. And that's because I lacked self-trust. I wasn't sure how other people would feel about my decision, And it can be as simple as food choices. Another question you can ask yourself is, who do I want to be around? If you are feeling off around certain people, or maybe you've had a friendship group, that you may be outgrowing and you start to feel different around them, trust yourself and trust your intuition that it's trying to tell you something. So I used to overthink a lot. And this was because, I lacked that self-trust within myself. But now I use my intuition to make decisions. I know that the first thing that comes up for me is usually the right choice, and I don't second guess myself anymore. Well, I try not to. Sometimes I may still slip up there, but this is the muscle that we are building constantly, and it doesn't just end. You are always working on this all the time. Ever feel like you're meant for more, but something keeps holding you back? Maybe you've read the books, set the goals, but deep down, doubt still creeps in. It's not just about working harder, it's about rewriting your mindset for success. I help ambitious young people break past limiting beliefs, step into their power, and create the life they know they are meant for. If you're ready to stop playing small and start living big, book in your free discovery call with me today. My website will be linked in the show notes, or you can find me in my Instagram bio. Embracing Power and Potential Coaching Services. A vision to empower 10,000 young people to create a life they truly desire. Number 4, journaling for inner guidance. And I'm going to give you some prompts that you can try yourself, but journaling really gets those subconscious thoughts down onto paper, just to get it out of your mind. And when you freely write whatever comes up, that's your intuition speaking through you. That is the channel from your higher self. It's like a stream of consciousness writing. And I look at this as like your intuition unfiltered. So some prompts that you can use is, what am I not seeing clearly right now? So when you do write out these prompts, sit with them for a moment and then just start writing. And let whatever comes up flow out through onto the paper. Because this was when these uncovered beliefs or thoughts that we have end up rising to the surface. And we can become aware of them to change them. Another prompt is, what does my higher self want me to know? So sit with these questions, these prompts, before you write them out or before you start journaling on them, because when you sit in stillness, that is when your higher self will come through. And sometimes if you just start writing, your mind might write what you think you should be writing, and it's not intuitively based or led. So if you want to get your notepad out, I will repeat these 2 prompts so you can write them down. Number 1 was, what am I not seeing clearly right now? And number 2, what does my higher self want me to know? And this is my favorite practice. I journal every day, pretty much, and I love it. It's just letting everything come out, sometimes that I wouldn't even be aware of consciously myself. And also ideas start flowing out as well. When I'm just having a creative writing session, and I start writing, then all these ideas just start flowing, and it's incredible. I love it. And it's working with your inner self and inner knowings. So these are things that deep down you already do know, or you've known before on a different timeline or in a past life. You know, when sometimes like you don't explain how you know things, but you just know? That's your intuition. And number 5, to strengthen your intuition, is to use rituals that open you up. So the main ones that I would recommend and that I use myself is meditation, really sitting in silence or with a guided meditation in the background and working on your breath. This is when you are at your most present state. And this is when intuition speaks loud. Another great way to connect with your intuition, and when I started my spiritual and personal development journey, this was the first thing that I did besides meditation, was oracle cards. And every day I would intuitively pick an oracle card. And a few months in, from doing this most days, my intuition was so strong, I literally picked a card straight away that exactly answered my question. It started to blow me away. Like, I started recording it and sending to my friends because, yeah, it's wild. You are working with universal intelligence and your higher self. It's like your spirit in a way, because everything is connected and we are all one. And I'm going to start making more episodes around the spiritual side of the universe and how connected everything really is, because it changed my life when I realized how to work with the universe and co-create with the universe. So anyway, back to oracle cards. What I used to do, I would shuffle the cards and then I would lay them all out so I could see all of them. And then I would intuitively pick 3 cards or however many I was doing for that spread. And I would go through and I would feel cards just like sort of call out to me, I guess. And then when you flip them over, they give you the answers that you were seeking or giving you some guidance. And it was always spot on to what I actually needed to hear that day. So this is a really fun way to start your journey with intuition and your spiritual side, I guess. Another one is EFT tapping. I love EFT tapping. And if you haven't heard of it, basically it's when you repeat affirmations while you're tapping certain points. So it's like the crown of your head and then you touch your temples. So you're tapping different parts of your body that activate different parts of your subconscious mind. So when you were saying these affirmations at the same time, it's all working together to really program these into your subconscious mind. And that's where your beliefs live. And I love this. And I'm actually going to make my own EFT tapping meditation and post it on here. So you guys can actually come back and save that and repeat it every day if that's something that you're interested in. I've only just started it actually with my business coach because it's something that she does and uses as for us as a resource, and I literally love it. I tap every morning now. I tap when I'm in the car, I tap when I'm on my walks. Yeah, and it makes you feel really good after as well. Another one is breath work. So this is really just becoming in the present moment when you connect with your breath. So this is a good practice to really silence your mind and let your intuition speak and be loud. Because your intuition flows when you enter altered states or flow states. So altered states is like when you are meditating, because you're in a theta state, your mind is not as consciously active at that time. It's like the same state as right before you go to sleep and when you wake up. So your subconscious mind is open more. And this is when your intuition can flow through. When you're in that creative energy and creative flow, ideas just start pouring out because this is coming from your intuition because you've opened that channel by being in a state of mind. So they are the 5 ways that I have to connect more with your intuition. So I'm going to run through each of these again just so we can recap and remember all of them. And if you do try any of these, please let me know because I'd love to know when you're starting your own, personal development and spiritual journey and connecting with your inner self. So number 1, create space to hear it. Number 2, tune into your body signals. Number 3, practice self-trust daily. Number 4, journal for inner guidance. And the last one, use rituals that open you up. So it's opening that channel between you and your higher self. So just to close, I just want to remind you that your intuition is always working. You just need to quiet the noise and rebuild your trust within yourself because it's connecting with you, with your true self, with your inner knowings. You can't get much more powerful than that. An empowering affirmation that I also want to end with today, challenge you to say this to yourself in the mirror for the next week. Maybe write it on a sticky note or just write it on your mirror. Put it somewhere that you will see this every day so it does remind you. My intuition is always guiding me and I choose to listen. So it's simple but empowering. So thank you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this episode or learned something new. And please let me know if you do try any of these techniques to connect with your inner knowing. And if you do, DM me on Instagram and let's have a chat. Also, I would so appreciate if you could rate this podcast 5 stars, leave a comment or a like, or even better, if you could screenshot this episode and share maybe an intuitive nudge on your Instagram story along with the screenshot. Get other people on board. So thank you so much for listening and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.